Hi, guys, and welcome back to another episode of The Vertical Take with Jennifer and Taha. This is episode 38, and we have the wonderful Mauricio Osaki, a director.
Yes.
So,
Nice
Mauricio,
experience.
yeah, I'm so grateful that you came on. You accepted our request to come on to the Vertical Take. I really appreciate it because we've only done one director, and we're trying to interview as many people who are not just actors and actresses because we want to get an insight of, the business aspect of it and what goes behind the scenes of the verticals. And thank you so much for, reaching out and coming on.
Thank you for having me. It's a pleasure be talking with you guys.
Yeah. So I'm just gonna dive into the first question. So, were you always drawn to film, or did that passion come on later on?
No, I always love films. I mean, I don't come from a family of filmmakers. My father's engineer, my mother's a professor, but we
Oh,
did have the habit because we live in the countryside a lot to go to the theater to watch movies, to rent the DVDs, VHS from the early age and watch together all types of movies. And it was just a habit in my family. On weekends, we would have dinner and then sit and watch two, three movies together, discuss just for fun, like
oh,
not serious discussing and usually at that time, we would go to the rental store like a small blockbuster style, and
Right.
usually the
oh.
parents they pick one tape or one DVD, and the kids like me and my brothers would pick another one action, one more serious, but we would always watch together. And my mother would be always saying criticizing the one my brother picked because it would be like Terminator or something like that. And then we would sometimes say, "Oh, the picture my parents picked was boring because it would be like Deaf Poet Society and we are too young to understand or something like that." So
Oh.
I always loved movies. So growing up, I knew I want to go to film school, and my parents are like, "What?" And but I just knew I want to study film.
Right.
Okay. Yeah.
Amazing.
What was your first camera or film experiment? Experiment? Hold on. What was your first camera experiment?
It was pretty much I went to college in Brazil. Later, I told I did my
Okay.
master's at NYU. And that's when in college, when I actually could, we didn't have iPhones yet and or,
Right.
phones that record. So was actually when I went to college and they had at the time the digital cameras. So it was the first time I could
Yeah.
actually hold a camera, see how it works, and start playing and recording short films with my friends, my colleagues.
Right.
Okay.
So, a phone wasn't the first thing, it was an actual camera for you.
It was an actually camera we call the DV, the digital video cameras. It was like hand cameras at that time.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, they would go in your hand. So, you see, for me, well, this is like '06, '07. We used to do like, those, have you heard of DigiBlue? The DigiBlue
Did you?
cameras?
Not sure.
So what is it? It's a
They had tape
camera.
or cards.
It's like a camera that's like blue and it's like on top of your desk and like you can film stuff with like like you have a stage and then you have like paper cutouts and you like move them in slow motion. Like you move it a little bit of an inch and then you capture it and then you move it and it turns
It's
it
like a
into
stop
film.
motion.
Slow motion
Yeah.
type. It was called DigiBlue. We did that in the
Okay.
UK. Yeah, that was my first personal camera experience. It was with
No, I
DigiBlue.
never heard about that. Yeah.
Maybe it's
I
a
had a
British thing.
camcorder. I had a camcorder. I'm
You had a
old.
cam
We
on
were
your shoulder,
old
like
school. Yeah. Yep. Yep.
right,
It was
Uh,
so cool to be on the camera and that.
right,
yeah.
right,
Yeah. Because
right.
when I was growing up, we filmed, or not we, my parents or my mom would film everything. It was like
That's
we would
amazing.
be outside, like, yeah, yeah, it was, yeah. Um,
So,
Oh,
how has
shoot.
your Japanese Brazilian heritage shaped your storytelling?
So my father's side is Japanese.
Right,
Although I was born and raised in Brazil, and but I always loved my Asian side, and that's why I use Osaki as my surname. And in when I went to my masters, I had many Chinese colleagues
right.
or Asian colleagues, and I always wanted to make shoot films in Japan or around Asia, and was one of my classmates 2 or 3 years ago. The first time they mentioned, and they call me on WeChat, there's a Chinese app, and
I've
say,
heard of
"Oh,
WeChat.
do you
Yeah.
think it's possible we do a web series with episodes in 1 minute? Because there's this thing going on in chat 3 years ago." And I'm like, of course not. Who's gonna watch that on phone? And they say, yeah, because they're doing this low budget series. I'm like, no, that's crazy. It's not gonna go anywhere. And then I would never imagine that, it would become what it became. But anyway,
Right.
I live in Asia, and I love Asian movies, so it's a huge part of my culture and who I am.
Yeah. Now, you mentioned that you were raised in Brazil. So, are you fluent in Portuguese?
Yes, I'm fluent in Portuguese and Spanish as well,
Ooh,
and actually recently as well. I mean, Brazil and the whole South America, there's also this tradition of soap operas, and that's something we would always
Yeah.
watch at home as well. And
yeah.
for me, somehow the verticals, they are version, iteration of the soap operas.
Yeah, they're the
There's so many
novellas.
tropes. The telenovelas.
Yeah,
So
the
very
telenovelas.
familiar.
Yeah, no, absolutely. That's amazing.
So, did you ever face doubts early on about making it as a filmmaker?
Always, whenever we always joke, because whenever we make a film, it's a new project, it's a film we never made before. It's
Right.
not like, oh, it's just a repetition. So we get a script and say, oh my god, how am I gonna shoot that? Every time, like, we go through the process, it's like, oh my god, that's gonna be difficult. How are we gonna pull this off? How is it gonna happen? What if it rains in the day? What if I don't know, it's not sunny enough? What if this, that? So, it's always a process of, like,
Yeah.
you never get to the ideal situation. It's always a battle. You're trying to don't compromise and make the most of what you can. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course. So, do you feel like your films are more personal or universal?
My films, like my short films
Yeah,
and the
like
films I
yours.
they are, they
The
are
stuff that you've
they're very
directed.
personal. Yeah,
Very
and
personal.
I also teach film production at film
Oh.
school in
Ooh,
undergrad, and I always tell my students, you want to make your films universal, make it specifically personal. People will don't connect with generic stuff. People connect with personal, real experience. And then
Exactly.
filmmaking is still about feelings, still about how you can feel an experience when you watch something. So I always try to draw inspiration, in my personal life or families, friends, or real stories that I feel connected to.
right. No, that's
Yeah,
that's a very good way
and
to put
it's
it.
and it's interesting because like it is all about the way that you shoot your films because I've seen not just verticals but I've seen movies that have had like they've had like the whole movie is like of close-ups and of just angling towards the face so they can see the emotion and it has like a whole different kind of feel to it than your typical movie. So yeah, if that makes sense.
Yeah, no,
But
that makes sense.
yeah,
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. Also, I think, for example, nowadays, it's very common. Also, people discuss about the equipment. Oh, if it's the phone or this type of camera, that type of camera. But
yeah,
actually, what matters is still the story. We have so much technology, we have so much things you know, when you go on a set, there's so many, I say there's so many distractions because there's so many equipments
Right.
and these and things that look fun, but you know what people actually watching, what they will care ultimately is always the story.
Yeah, agreed.
Yeah. Oh, and what things, okay, so what things do you find yourself returning to most often?
um like in life or in which sense, like
Just just your filming, like your directing.
I think I always try to draw inspiration and return to the films I love and why I love that films, or the directors I love and why we love them. Like for example, Spielberg, all these big directors we love that we
Yeah.
watched when we were a kid, and how do we feel about that? You know, for example, if we think like E.T. or all these films, like why do we love these films? Or for the new generations, the Harry Potters, or you know what's the connection we had with that material that we made, we love that so much. So I love watching classic movies, old movies,
Hmm.
all types of movies, because it goes back to like why do we love this medium so much? And it doesn't matter if it's horizontal, if it's vertical. You know, there's something about watching some fantasy. I see many people call the verticals is escapism, right?
It is.
What's
Yeah.
about what's about that experience that you can be in a theater room where it's dark and many people, or you can be alone watching your phone, and there's something about watching a story that has nothing to do with you, or it can be about billionaires or people going to the space or going to another planet, or uh,
Yeah.
being part of a mafia, and you're just so connected to there. It is so fascinating. So yeah, I still love movies. I'm kind of movie buff, and me and my
Yeah.
friends. So I yeah, I always try to go back to films we love and rewatch and enjoy together.
Right.
Yeah.
That's amazing. So, what stories are you still waiting to tell?
Uh, I like in the verticals or
Anything.
in
Just anything.
I think in both. I think, for example, in my career, still there's a lot of feature films. I want to make feature films that tell about people like me, about identity, about personal stories. And I think in vertical somehow, as it evolves, I feel the same. You know, there's so many stories to explore. I think we are
Yeah.
still touching the surface because it's kind of like the first wave that's coming, and they're sometimes look a bit the same. And then I think there'll be a lot of original productions coming, a lot of different genres. So yeah, I'm excited for both.
Yeah.
Yeah. So now we're going to get into the good stuff. What first drew you to Good Girl Gone Bad, and how did you become involved as its director?
So I initially, when I started doing the verticals, it was some of the Chinese companies that they were like, "Oh, there's this
Yeah.
series that did well in China. Can you adapt the script and then and direct?" And then I did a few projects. Some they had a lot of views, and then I started talking to other companies, and then Viglo around a year ago, they contacted me to create some series for them. And I think they have, which is really nice work with them. They have this vision about creating original content. And we initially developed two series, Fight for Love and Escaping the Bridezilla. Fight for Love was a big hit in their platform. Was the first series that had martial arts, and then I draw a lot of inspiration from films. I love it,
Yeah.
like from Jean Claude Van Damme and all that old
A lot.
good
I
stuff.
could see a lot of Jackie Chan in there.
Yeah, all the things that are serious, but there's love, there's comedy as
Hmm.
well. And then later we started developing this script, The Good Girl Got Bad, and we want to also bring elements that we love about the professor-student relationship, but the military, but also things that are funny, like we I drew a lot of inspiration from Top Gun, the original one, that
Oh yeah.
I
I
love.
could tell. I was getting the
That
thriller
I
in it.
love. Yeah, there's some thrill, there's some funny, there's some silly moments between the professor and the student. And we were working a lot on the script. I work with a screenwriter. She's based in LA, Annalisa. And
Hmm.
then we developed around 4 series together. And we were like back and forth in the script, I think, for 4 months
Oh,
before we
wow.
kind of lock the story and say, oh, he's ready to shoot.
Yeah.
Yeah. And the
Well,
casting was amazing because Aaron Orcutt and is it Aaron? Yeah, that's her name,
Is
right?
that's Rebecca. It's
Cayman
Rebecca.
Rebecca.
Cayman
Yeah.
Cardiff and yeah, and her oh I don't have it.
And
And
Nico.
Nico Loco. Oh, it was such when you casted him as the villain, I was like,
He's a good villain.
yes. We haven't seen him on screen in like forever because he's based in the
Yeah.
Philippines and he does a lot of Filipino content, but I'm just like,
Yes,
thank you for bringing him
he
back.
had just been on a set on a Hallmark movie in Canada. He's Canadian, Nico.
Yes,
And
Canadian.
then Cayman came early, and then we're talking to Rebecca. Rebecca came with Cayman, and Cayman is such a strong presence on the screen. He's so handsome, so talented, and I wanted
Yeah.
someone to antagonize him that looked very different but was very powerful. So they could both
Yeah.
be on each other's throat. And then I talked to Nico and say, Nico, you need to play this villain. And it was just fun because all the time on set we would watch both of them and we would kind of instigate them and they would be ready
Right.
for
Because I don't
Yeah.
think Nico's done a vertical where he's a villain. There's been
No, yeah. Well,
no,
he's
not when
played some real pretty tough guys.
I saw the one where he married his wife's sister, but it turned out that he was a very, loving man and her sister was wrong and stuff. But definitely I'm pretty sure he's done some villainous stuff in like his what do you call it? The Filipino operas that have came out. But yeah, definitely it was thank you for bringing him on. Thank you.
No, it was super fun from the start because Cayman, his character was so more composed and
Yeah.
elegant, and Nico was the psycho. And then they would be
He
like
played an
when they
awesome
both together.
psycho. Oh my
Yeah,
god. It was amazing.
Yeah.
So
they're both
But no,
was a
it was
pleasure working.
yeah. Well, it was interesting because like when I was doing my research and I was like looking up, things that you've done, every one of your, I mean, not every one of them, but the verticals that you've done on Digloo, every one of them have been really, really amazing projects. Like
mhm.
Fight for Love, that was the first one that I watched of yours. It was real. I mean, it was great. And then you got Escaping the Bridezilla,
Brazil.
Brother
which
Salah.
it's interesting because Shanna,
Yeah,
that was
Shanna
her
was
name,
in it.
right? Shanna. Okay.
Mhm.
She's in both. She's in Fight for Love and in Escaping the Bridezilla. Was that planned or was she
No, it
just
was planned.
Okay.
okay?
Shanna had not been too many verticals until then.
Yeah.
Uh,
Fresh
After
face.
Fight for Love was very popular. So, but also she's an amazing actress, and
For sure.
since then she's doing a lot. Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
we had the chance to talk to her and amazing, absolutely amazing.
and yeah, she's super fun, and she's so versatile as well. So yeah, I'm
Yeah.
so happy for her.
Yes, I agree. So the show explores forbidden attraction and hidden truths. How did you balance intimacy with ethical tension in these scenes?
Yeah, that's something from since the script. We're trying to balance that. We wanna like
Mhm.
to be action, but to have the romance to bring some of the intimacy between the. And I think one thing I like to work from the script level is to make sure that all the characters they have some motivation. They have some depth that
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't want them to feel shallow because otherwise it's hard for me as a director to talk to the actors on set
Right.
or on the process to bring the best of them. And even, for example, the Volklov, right, the Nico character, he does have his motivations are like
Of
greed
course.
or craziness, but he have. And for Rebecca, and character Maddie and Cayman, that's Knox, they also have this passion that's genuine between them, but at the same time they have this professor-student relationship. Also, he's playing a double agent, so there was all this complexity between them that I think that's what also increased the tension, the drama when they're together, because they're not supposed to be, and they're always a bit
No, it's very
hiding.
taboo.
Yeah, but they cannot hide their feelings, and I think like yeah, Cayman and Rebecca did such a amazing job, like in this kind of push and pull.
Yeah. No, their
Yeah,
chemistry was outstanding. And I remember when you guys were filming, I think you guys filmed back in April, right?
I
April or
think was
May?
May, maybe May. I
May,
don't.
because
Yeah,
I remember came in on his stories. He was like, "Okay, I took a flight into Vietnam. I lost my suitcase. I don't know what's going
oh my
on."
god, suitcase. Oh my god.
He lost his suitcase and like he had so many pimples on his face, and I was like, "Bro, what is going on?" But it
No,
cleared.
it was crazy because actually what happened is that he went to the airport. We booked. I was so careful in booking him like a very good flight, but then there was a cancellation. Was a Cathay Pacific was supposed to be like the shortest possible flight,
Right.
LA Hong Kong here, and then I think there was something with the airplane, and then he had to go back to his house, take another plane, and then there was two connections in the middle, and then the luggage they were sent. So the luggage went ahead, and they were gonna send to the hotel later. Anyway, it was crazy. Yeah.
Oh my God, I
Yeah.
felt so bad for Cayman. Oh my God.
No, but Cayman was
So,
like game. He was. I remember. Yeah, I met him in the airport. I don't know 2 a.m. And then the next day he was back in the gym and getting to the time
Right.
zone. And yeah,
wow.
He was getting his shit together. I'm like, I don't know if I'd be able to do that. I'd probably be crying over my clothes not being delivered on time.
we told him, Cayman, if worst comes to worst, yeah, you're gonna just play the character with your underwear because that's all you have now.
And we would not complain.
I mean, that's all you have.
Literally.
Yeah.
So, so when you're filming, what what was your biggest priority in directing the pilot? Was it emotional truth, visuals, pacing, or tension? And how did you balance them?
I think it always starts with the emotional truth that's connected to the story for me. I always want the characters, and I was having this conversation, remember, with Rebecca, because she was telling me that sometimes in the verticals, like she was asking me, do you want me just to make face or do you want me to act? I said, no, I want you to act. I want you to feel the character. If you need time for the scene, we're going to take the time and we're going to explore, and I want to, because people we're gonna feel that later.
Yeah.
If you're just giving a fake smile or if there's some tension. So we would try to bring that all the time between Rebecca, Cayman, and Nico, to the point that I would tell Nico, go and improvise and grab him, like it's not in the script, grab him by here, and they would be like kind of in each other's throat, and
Yeah.
with Rebecca as well, like. So I think that comes first, and of course, all the about the visuals, we plan a lot. We build sets. We have that plan, but if the actors don't bring the emotional to the screen, nothing else is gonna work.
Exactly, because you have a
Exactly.
vision, you want them to portray it, but there's only so much you can tell. They, as actors, need to bring it to alive, you know.
And especially in verticals, you see here now we are in the vertical, like
Yeah,
okay, we
literally
Yeah,
explore
vertical.
yeah.
things like that's all most of what we have, and we are watching. So I think we need to have the emotions. We need to have some kind of truth in their feelings because people are gonna feel that when they're watching.
Yeah.
Exactly. And a movie can have plot all at once. Like it can have like the most amazing plot. But if you don't feel connected to that character, if you don't feel those emotions, that it's not, I mean, you're not gonna, the movie's not gonna
That,
connect with
It's not
you.
gonna do good.
yeah, that's why there's all these big budget movies that they shot
Yeah,
like 2 months and they use all this money. They built all this set. You go watch and you're like nothing, and the movie just flops. And there's some
yeah,
verticals, right? So that was shot
Yeah, and
like
then everyone's
1 week, two
depressed, and the
actors.
producers like going into bankruptcy. Oh no, yeah, we've
Yeah,
heard a lot of those.
yeah.
Oh god,
It is the opposite of verticals, that they're low budget. They're like 2 or 3
low
characters, and you're
risk.
watching them, and then
Hmm.
and then some of them, it's like 100 million views, right? It's kind of it just blows. Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I watched it for Nico though. I'm Team Nico.
Okay.
I
Oh my
loved
God.
his
Team Kane.
craziness. Oh my god. It's like a face-off, man. It was so good. No, you props to you for directing that. It was amazing.
No, and yeah, from the table reading, and of course, the director was always trying to go to one and say, yeah, do this, do that,
Yeah.
and then they would kind of improvise a bit, and you would feel the tension sometimes. It was amazing.
Yeah, no, the tension was definitely there. They definitely were able to portray their characters to the fullest extent. I feel like, yeah, no, the passion, the face off, the tension rubbing in. I love the scene where um Cayman and Rebecca were in the, I think it was a library or in the room by the bookshelf, and then Nico comes in and he's calling out for his wife, and he's just like and I was like, Cayman, you are so bold. And Nico, how can you be so stupid? You hear some rattling and you just leaving. Oh man, yeah, that was funny. Anyways, not trying to get sidetracked.
How did you set up enough intrigue and motivation in the premiere to satisfy the viewers while leaving questions for later episodes?
Yeah, I think, for example, when we are developing a script for film or for verticals, the format's different and is designed for that format. But we but that there's a few things that they work the same in storytelling, either
Yeah,
for vertical or film. That's kind of the dramatic engine. Is what is the is the drama behind the full story. And
Right.
in Good Girl Gone Bad, for example, there's this forbidden love, and then
yeah,
there's this love that is the professor, is the student, is the secret agent with the professor. There's all, and that will be throughout the whole story until pretty much the latest episodes,
yeah,
and that's the premise of the Good Girl Gone Bad. And even like we go in each episode, we have specific drama, different dramas that are gonna happen. Like for example, the one Taha just mentioned about Volklov coming and catching both of them in Med's offs, and then there was a moment he's without shirt, and that's the specific.
Yeah.
But there's this bigger drama, so we keep that. And I think a good story, it needs to have a strong dramatic engine that you're gonna go throughout the full series. And so
yeah,
even though in each episode you have like specific cliffhangers, but you have this
yeah,
bigger dramatic question that you're gonna hang there, and you want to see the resolution in the very end. It's very
Right.
funny because these days, I mean, I follow what you guys write, and you guys always writing reviews. Luckily, a lot of the series I did got a lot of reviews, and I've been connecting to a lot of the community and following.
yeah,
And then some people are saying that, oh, some series now they're incomplete because they are trying to do the season 2. And for example,
yeah,
in Good Girl Gone Bad, I didn't want to people feel that, so the story is incomplete. But in the last episode, we want to make a tease. We want to tease, okay, maybe we're gonna have the season 2, but
Little bit of a
still want
cliffhanger.
a little bit, but we still wanted the story to be fully
Of
satisfying. Like,
course.
although, I mean, I'm not gonna spoil, but at the end, there is an end, and we tease a bit in the last episode.
Right. No, you do want the audience to also have a picture of what would happen if there was a continuation. And also, unfortunately, a lot of these verticals, they do not get a continuation, unfortunately. So if the opportunity was to present itself, especially there would be something for you to quickly hop back right on as if no time had, elapsed from the ending to season two. So definitely it's a good way for giving us satisfaction. And also, if season two does happen, it's easier on your end to just hop back right on and continue as if nothing
Correct.
happened. Yeah.
Yes. Yes.
So, was there any kind of like feedback or any kind of note during the shooting or post that made you rethink a scene or tone? So, did anybody give you like a
Uh,
feedback? Yeah.
I think, for example, when we are shooting like the verticals, we always have like executive producer. For example, I work a lot with April from Viglo, and there's the cast. So we always one thing that I love to do actually in all the verticals I direct is to have the full cast, like the full cast the day before, and we do a full
Okay.
table reading on the script, and then
Mm.
non-stop, like most of the dialogues, not reading much like script directions, but then we can see the scenes playing, like all the cast. I even position them like the for example, Kay, my friend of Nico, and Rebecca by the side of Kay. So I want to see how they interact, how they're gonna look to each other, and then we try from there to make adjustments. How we feel, how we can strengthen their relationships, and that we always discuss between us and make these adjustments. And on set, sometimes it's normal as well. We see how the scene could be better, how they could do. So there's always, we're always trying to watch the monitor together, feedback
Yeah.
with ourselves, and see how we can make it better.
Yeah, no,
Okay.
absolutely. Because as a director, you are meant to, make sure everyone is on the same page, but also some feedback is always very crucial, especially if, because you are looking at it in your direction, your gaze, your vision, but also there may be some things that the actors or the lighting or costume or the intimacy coordinator might seem that it may enhance the performance of how the total outcome would be. So those little feedbacks, I'm pretty sure you are appreciative of them when they do come around on set.
Always, always, because yeah, sometimes we say, "Oh, Cayman, can you do like this?" And say, "Oh, it's difficult to I do like that. Can I do this way?" And say, "Yeah, let's see the camera." And then sometimes it's better, you know. So it's
Yeah.
yeah, it's always nice.
Yeah.
I'm always open to have a dialogue.
And that's what
Yeah,
makes a
because that was
good
going to be
director.
my, well, yes. And that's what I was going to ask is next, like when you guys are filming and like take for instance, came in as like, well, no, this isn't, I don't feel like this is the right, it's not
Approach.
right. Are you, yeah, the right approach, or we should do it differently. Are you, are you able to, take that kind of feedback and adjust it in that way?
Yeah,
Does it, yeah.
we always try to adjust. For example, there was I can tell specifically. For example, the opening, we were initially we had thought, oh, we're gonna have a little more light on his face, and then uh, as we were on the location, I was discussing with Apron. We want to do something a little more special, a little more mysterious. So he comes first. We don't first actually we see his back, and then after we see him in silhouette, but we don't see his face. And then when the close up comes and we see his face and reveals, it has a different impact. And that's something that initially we thought, oh, we're gonna see his face, like oh, because he's the main actor from the very first moment. And actually, no, we it's like it creates a little mystery, and actually is connected to his character because he's supposed to be this double agent, so
Yeah.
it makes sense. Yeah.
Yeah, no, absolutely. So, when shaping your vision, do you usually start with the story, characters, or visuals?
I would say story and characters, they come together because characters are the story and the story are the characters. They go back and forth. It's like the story comes from the characters. If they need to have their motivations, their drama between them, and then the story comes. And I think that, yeah, the visuals, they will gonna come, the story gonna bring. For example, there is one scene we really like in Good Girl Gone Bad. That's when uh, Knox Kamen character is trying to protect Maddie, Rebecca, and they go inside of a kind of a wardrobe,
Mm-hmm.
and that's supposed to be tight. And it's all about his character. He's a protective guy who has the skills to protect her. He's in control of the situation. That's why he knows how what's the procedure to do. But also that can bring a very specific visual, because then we could build the wardrobe of Caymans is really tall, really big. So we could build
Right.
the wardrobe. We could think how to light that. Because that also visually we would have that scene. We would have an intimacy scene there. So for me, the visuals, they will have always to come from the story and from the characters.
Yeah.
So, what is your process for working with actors to bring out authentic performances?
So we start in the casting, casting to choose the right person.
Yes.
Because, it's not, sometimes people say, oh, that actor, it doesn't look good in that film. We hear that all the time. And it's about, sometimes he just doesn't fit, the character. So you need to have the cast that, for example, Kamen was the perfect guy to play Knox here in the series, and Rebecca, and we put them together. We did a chemistry test with both of them, and we saw how they play together. And you can see, even we are doing online, it just works. So we can see the chemistry is there. And then Nico, I think, was at the time he was in Canada shooting a movie, and then I sent a text, one scene to him to read on his hotel room, like recording his phone, and he could see how he could bring the character Volklov to life. So casting is really important. I think it's the first step, because if you miscast, it would be a problem. And then after that, it opens so many possibilities, because then you can create a distinction between them, you can create the intimacy. But yeah,
Yes.
always starting casting. Yeah.
Of course,
Yeah.
because you have a vision, but the actors have to bring it alive. And if there's no chemistry, and if it's not fitting the character that you have envisioned, it's not going to work out. So it's very
No,
important.
and a lot of the actors I work with, Kim and Rebecca, they bring a lot, to the character. They study the character. They are reading the script like 1 month before we start shooting. They bring ideas. They think, oh, I want my character. For example, Cayman, he had a specific voice he used for this character. Nico has a different body language. Rebecca also, so they all bring so much for the screen that is amazing.
Yeah.
Now, I do have a question because, and probably I don't know, our viewers may not know it either. What exactly? I know what I've heard chemistry tests. Like, what goes on in a chemistry test when you refer
For
to it?
example, um, what I like to do first is a audition, is a tape, and then
Okay.
um, usually we send a scene for an actor, and then to see how he would play that character, and then we think, oh, this guy fits, the other doesn't fit, and we go from there. And after we are more or less settled or thinking about, let's say this actor is going to play the male lead and this actors are going to play the female lead. Sometimes we try to have both together to see how they will interact with each other, how they look to each other. And then sometimes we do that with more than one couple, and we're going to watch and you can feel, it's so important to do to tape and watch and see how, because one thing that's kind of a mystery, the actors, they bring so much just with their presence, with their face, with
Mhm.
when they're not speaking, and we can feel that on the screen when we are watching a movie, and that's why we do this test, because we want to see if when we are watching them we can feel that specific character.
Yeah, of
Okay.
course. Of course. So, how do you handle creative disagreements on set?
It happens, you know. Sometimes we say, okay, let's do one take like this, let's do one take like that. Or sometimes if someone has a different vision, different opinion, we would say, oh, why do you think that? Or let's see, let's do a rehearsal, let's see how it looks. Because I think the most important is not necessarily, you know, everyone on set, including the director, that we are working for the film, for the
Yeah.
series, for
Yeah.
that story. The story is bigger than everyone else, you know, and um, if it works better for the story, it doesn't matter if it's not my opinion. You know, we go always. I think we always go what's better for the story, and
Yeah.
sometimes a bit of about of taste. Sometimes there are things that we're not 100% sure, and we're gonna shape in the editing. And in the editing, we do like many different cuts of a scene, many different versions. We do like sometimes with a slower pace, with a faster pace, until we really find the one that works the best.
Hmm. Yeah, no, absolutely.
Yeah. Um, so how do you adapt when unexpected challenges hit, such as like budget, weather, or even tech issues?
Oh my God, that happens all the times. And in
I
verticals,
bet.
then because we have some tight deadline, tight schedule, and we shoot a lot of scenes. So I think uh, we can control what we can control. There are things that are
Exactly.
impossible.
Yeah.
So we try to plan as much as possible. And I try to understand as much as possible as the scene goes and what's important there. Because if I have to adjust and change a location, if I'm forced to change from day to night because of schedule or from sunny to rain, we can still adjust and make it work,
Hmm.
that scene. So I think, yeah, the most important is to prepare and to understand the story so we can always make the adjustments on the fly that you're gonna preserve the emotional core of the story.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which stage of production do you find the most challenging? Pre-production, during production, like shooting, editing, post-productions, like.
I think the pre-production is very important. It's where like you need to make the decisions that you're gonna affect, because on sets we have to shoot a lot of scenes per day. We cannot. There's some limitations of what we
Right.
can adjust. If we didn't plan ahead something, it's not gonna happen like that. So I think the
Yeah.
pre-production is when always this location really fits. For example, oh, there's no wardrobe we're gonna be able to fit Cayman. We have to build one on set. Or for example, in Escape the Bright Seal, we built an elevator like on the
Oh,
set, because yeah, we had like a lot of scenes inside of the elevator. Elevators are usually small, and if we have to shoot in a real one and we have it goes up and down, the
Oh,
actors
no,
are
you
yeah.
can't do that.
uncomfortable.
No, you need like a
We
mock
cannot do
one.
that. We need a mock one, so let's build one. So all these decisions that are key, and you're gonna affect the performance of the cast, the schedule. They need to be done ahead on pre-production. So pre-production is really key. It's really important.
Of course, of
Okay.
course.
So if you could like redirect, sorry, let me do this again. If you can direct a remake of any movie, which one would you choose? I mean, you've watched a lot of
Oh my god,
movies.
I have a few, but I cannot tell because I'm
Oh,
keeping. Because I
oh,
will tell you guys later, but I there's
Okay.
one that I've been thinking. I'm like, oh my god, this would be an amazing
oh,
vertical. Let's do. I've been even talking to the writers I work. Oh my god, that one would be an amazing vertical. You know, there's so many movies that we can take inspiration, not copy, but you know, take
yeah,
inspiration
Of course.
and make a vertical version that would be amazing. And that's why I think, you know, we are just at the start of this format, because there's
yes,
so many things to explore. And I think over the next years, you're gonna see like a lot of different genres, different characters. People are asking for diversity. We everything we're gonna come. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, absolutely. And I was telling people like, why can't we have like a classical Hollywood movie turned vertical style? Like they're classics for a reason. But then some people are like, oh, don't touch it, don't ruin it. But the thing is, everything's evolving, and I see the verticals as an evolution of mainstream Hollywood and cinemas because people are busy nowadays. Get bite-sized pieces of drama to keep things going on your phone. So why not take a spin on it?
Uh, you're gonna happen. You're gonna happen.
It's gonna happen. Yes, manifest it.
Yeah.
So, and the last question we have for you is, as an individual, what keeps you grounded?
Uh, I think at the end of the day, I love at the end of every work, we get together, all the team, and we make a picture together. And then
Mhm.
we look back, and then after the shooting, and when like we can take a shower and drink a hot coffee, and
Right.
can be like, and then we see it's like on my crews, like when I shoot, I usually have big crews. I like to shoot with like cinema cameras. We have we usually have 50 people on set working on it, even though we have 50 people, and then every individual there had a very specific job and worked like for a month to help to create that series. So it's the work of so many people there.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't matter if I'm the director. There's the director of photography. There's the sound guys. There's the post production people. There's the catering that's important to keep us.
Yeah.
Everyone is important. Everyone is working really hard. Everyone cares to make the best there, and I think that's when we look and we say, okay, this is a collective work. We are
Course.
here creating
Yeah.
something, and that keeps me grounded because it's like, oh, it's such a privilege to be here, work with all these people, and and creating something that brings so many connections. Like for example,
Yeah.
sometimes to them, I'm talking to you. I sometimes talking to people, I don't know, from Australia, from Brazil, from South America, from Europe. I see all these communities like you guys are growing,
Yeah.
and it's also a format. When I'm explaining the difference sometimes between a film and a vertical, that is so much more accessible to the audience, right? We can do like this podcasts and these calls and discuss the process. And
Hmm.
sometimes in a
Yeah.
in a huge movie, it's something so far we're never gonna know what actually happened. People, the actors, they're never gonna come and talk and discuss. There's so
No.
many
Yeah.
barriers, and I think here on the verticals, I think what's amazing as well, right? It's a direct, you guys message me on Instagram, we connected, and we are here talking. And yeah,
Yes.
we can share and some of the experience, share some knowledge. And I think, yeah, that's help all of us, right, to be grounded and say, oh, we are building something together.
Yeah, definitely. And that's what we want to do in the vertical take. And our mission is to not only just talk to the actors and get to know them and like, see what they are behind the cameras, but also to directors, sound, light, intimacy coordinator. We want to talk to everyone because at the end of the day, without all of you guys, we would not be watching anything on our screens. It takes a lot for us to
It,
enjoy
it
our
takes a
favorite
lot.
dramas. It does. And we salute you guys and we really appreciate it to the
No, it's
fullest.
so many people. Yeah, for example, I worked with Alison, the intimacy coordinator. She was amazing. We would do the calls because we wanted to be safe. We wanted to be, of course, there's a lot of intimacy, but we wanted to be respectful, to be safe, to be
Exactly.
ethical as well. And then all of that now, and especially because there's so many people watching,
Yeah.
and people are gonna check what we are doing,
Hmm.
like, and if we're
Hmm.
doing things correct. So we always have to, to aim for keep the standards high as well.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. So Now that we've got the questions out of the way, we're going to go ahead and hop into the two truths and a lie.
And the score is 10-17.
Oh my God. Okay.
I know.
I swim every day 2,000 meters. 1 hour. I do one
Okay.
hour swimming every day. I speak fluently Japanese, and I um, can also speak some Chinese.
Aw.
Chinese and oh yeah, thank you after dropping a bomb. Oh, your hair seems a little wet. Maybe you were swimming. I mean, you are Japanese of heritage, so I would think that you would know how to speak Japanese. Chinese, you did say that you worked with Chinese companies, so maybe you do. But you said fluent. That's the key word. Oh, I seriously don't know. What are you thinking, Jennifer?
I'm gonna say I don't think I don't think you speak Japanese.
I would see him speaking more fluent Japanese because that's his heritage. He probably spoke it at home than Chinese because Chinese could be something that he had to catch on in terms of to like communicate with the Chinese. I don't, yeah, I don't think he speak fluent Chinese.
Okay. Now you can tell us your answer.
No,
Wait,
I
what
said
did?
fluent Japanese. So I don't speak Japanese at all. I never learned at home because my mom is Brazilian, so I never learned. And you're right, I have to catch on. I have to I learn a bit Chinese, and I have to study. And I do, yes, I do swimming. I didn't go today yet because we had usually I go in the evenings for
Oh,
swimming,
okay.
and I love going swimming. Swimming is such a great part of my day to relax and yeah, I never learned Japanese, but I studied Chinese.
Oh, wow. Well, let me update the score. 18. Ugh. Well,
I'm
to
18,
the
by the way. He's 10.
I
Oh,
know I suck.
you're killing Jen.
Oh
Yes.
well, it's okay. We lose in
Oh my God!
style.
If you guys go on Viglo Instagram, they did a quiz with Cayman and then Rebecca at the end, and they were like eating to see who was
Competing.
gonna win.
The
Very
competition
competitive,
was high.
very competitive.
Well,
Cayman,
congratulations.
they draw, but I think Rebecca won.
Girls rule. Well, congratulations to everyone else who got that right. And yeah, I guess I am losing in style. Now,
No,
moving
it's
on
good.
to my fun part, which is the rapid fire. So
No
whenever
problem.
you're ready,
I'm ready.
perfect. Favorite kind of pizza crust?
Oh, pizza. I love with cheese.
No,
Oh,
crust,
oh,
meaning the
the crust. Hand toss it like that.
hand tossed. Okay, because we have like
Hand toss.
thin, pan, thick. Okay, hand tossed.
I
Okay,
like usually hand tossed. Yeah.
okay. Do you like radio shows?
Yeah, I love radio shows and I love podcasts. Now, sometimes I love walking, cycling, and I'm just
Just put it in and
listening.
listen. Yeah,
Yeah, I
no,
love
they're
that.
amazing. Have you ever sent a secret admirer message?
Oh my God. Back in maybe high school, we used to write for the girls.
Perfect. Yeah, we've done stuff
It
back in
was,
high
Haven't we
school.
all?
Right.
we didn't have phones yet.
No, no, yeah. Do you like spicy noodles?
No, I don't. I don't eat. I love noodles, but I don't eat spice food.
Oh, okay. Got it. Favorite breakfast beverage or drink?
Coffee.
Coffee, yeah. Who was your first celebrity crush?
Um, Good question. Who was my? Uh, or maybe it was Kelly McGirls in Top Gun. Oh my God,
Ooh,
Oh, okay, okay.
yes,
I
that's
know.
a good
Yeah.
one. Do you like writing stories?
I love writing stories.
Favorite fantasy character?
Um, Fantasy character. I love Star Wars. I love
Okay,
Luke Skywalker. I
Luke
love
Skywalker. Mhm. I'll
also,
take RED2.
yeah.
Amazing. If you could create a new planet, what would you name it?
I love astrophysics actually. And then when they name the planets now with X, there's
Yeah,
like
I
kind
know.
of a
I know.
Oh,
and it's yeah. Now
okay.
there's all this research about they call exoplanets,
Yeah,
and they
Oh,
exoplanets are planets like similar to the Earth, where they think life would be possible
it's
because they have
possible.
the
Yeah.
right temperature. Yeah, they have water. They
The
have
right
all the
environment.
conditions that. Yeah. Okay, so I would name after my dog when I was a kid. If I discover, I call my company Loopy Films, and I would call Loopy because it was the name of my
Loopy.
dog when I was a kid. Yeah.
Planet
oh.
Loopy. Perfect. Who wants to move there?
Yeah, I will go there.
Do you enjoy compliments about your humor?
Yeah, I enjoy both compliments and criticism as well. I
Okay.
think it's important uh, and I think for example, if the community is good, you guys give us a lot of feedback,
Yeah.
and when you guys are serious about the reviews and say, oh, this doesn't work, so I think both are good, to
Yeah.
keep us grounded. Yeah.
Wait a minute, hold on, pause, because I always wondered about that. I do reviews, and I always feel bad when I put like I didn't like such and such or so, do you guys like that kind of stuff? Like when we're
I
honest
think
about that?
is good when you guys are honest and say it doesn't work. It didn't work for me. And sometimes people say,
Okay.
"Oh, that part that didn't work for me." Oh, I feel that wasn't realistic. I feel disconnected in that moment because that's something we discuss as well. Oh, people feel disconnect about that because also help us to understand what
Yeah,
people enjoy. So yeah,
Yeah.
it's good
that's good.
to get feedback. Yeah,
Yeah. Do you like naps?
I like naps. I like naps on the sofa. Yeah.
Gotta
The soap.
get in that energy. Would you rather a picnic date or a dinner date?
Mm. Dinner. I would say dinner date.
Okay.
Yeah.
Favorite sandwich bread?
I like focaccia.
No, okay.
Okay.
Do you like fireworks?
I love fireworks. Oh,
Do you like
fireworks is
award shows?
what?
Award shows like the
Yeah,
Grammys or
yeah,
the.
yeah. I'm actually member of the academy.
No.
Uh, so I vote for the Oscars, and
Oh,
then usually starts around now because the voting process starts pretty early. So
Yeah.
by now I start receiving the films to review. But for example, with the Oscars, I always take as a duty, like, oh,
Yeah,
I'm
of
part of like
course.
the short film branch because my short film was in the was shortlisted for an Oscar. And then I always, oh my god, I have to watch and rewatch sometimes, and so sometimes I feel stressed. Oh my god, I have to review this and
Right, right,
have to
right.
be fair and give the vote to the ones that I think should really deserve. But
yeah.
Do you like
Well,
candles?
I like candles. I like the ones with the smell.
Yeah, the scented ones, yeah. If you could
Yeah.
switch places with a movie character, who?
Huh. I Let me think. That's a very good question. I would like to get a character maybe in Star Trek. No, yeah, Star Trek
Star
or
Trek.
Star
the
Trek.
Okay.
ones that
Yeah.
go across planets and
Yeah,
across the
very Luke
universe.
Skywalker.
Yeah,
Yes.
yes,
Fried
I would
rice
love
or
that.
spring rolls?
Oh my God, I love both, but I'm gonna
I
go with
know.
fried rice.
Fried
Fried
rice,
rice.
yeah, getting those
Yeah.
carbs. Have you ever flirted with someone you barely knew?
Floated,
Flirted with someone who you
flirted.
barely
Oh,
knew.
flirted. Oh, all the
Like you
time.
don't even
I
know
mean,
them.
when I was single, yes. I mean,
Of
I
course.
mean, when I started going out with my friends, I mean, there was no apps, right? There was no like, so we had
No,
Yeah.
to
it was all
be
networking.
brave at the time.
Okay. Do you like setting goals?
Yes, I like set like not like, oh, I'm gonna do this by the hour, but have bigger goals. Oh,
Yeah.
I want
Yeah.
this, I want to achieve
Yeah,
that.
yeah, yeah, of course. If you could be invisible for a day, what would you do?
Hmm, I didn't think about that.
It's meant to be fast, so you're meant to just like be
Oh
like,
my
oh, I do
god.
this, I do that. I
They
know. I
gotta,
meant to.
yeah.
So
I
you're
don't know what I
invisible
would
for a day.
do. Maybe I would just go.
Spy on people. Like,
No, I think maybe I would go invisible. I don't know if I could go swimming naked on the swimming pool or
I
when it's
guess you
closed
could
in the
because no one
night.
can see you.
No, yeah, I would
Nobody
do
can see
that.
you.
I would go in the middle of the night because it closed 7 p.m. So I would go maybe 9 after dinner, 9 before sleeping,
Oh,
and do a few laps.
Yeah.
And then because I'm invisible, I can just pass the thing
Right. You
there.
can pass everything. Right, right, right,
Yeah,
right. That's interesting. Slow dance or a spontaneous kiss?
spontaneous kiss.
Okay. Do you like fantasy movies?
Yeah, I love fantasy movies.
Favorite place to watch a sunrise?
Um, in the countryside, near the mountains. Yeah,
Okay. Have you ever been caught blushing?
caught blush. What does it mean? Like,
So blushing is like, yeah, like you're flushed, you're red after someone made a compliment or said something about you. So has someone caught you blush?
oh, all the time. Sometimes I get very shy about something, and then
yeah.
yeah,
Right. Okay. Do you like hiking trails?
hiking shows.
Trails. Like
Trails.
Yeah,
hiking
yeah, yeah, yeah. I
trips.
like
Yeah.
hiking. I like
Okay.
hiking
Do you like daydreaming?
all the time.
Right. A creative mind has to daydream. Otherwise, where is it flowing
Yeah,
from?
yeah. When I'm swimming, I'm kind of sometimes I'm dreaming all the
Out of
time
it.
in the water.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you like someone being a little mysterious?
Yeah, I think it's attractive.
Okay. Cleaning or organizing?
Both. When I wake up, the first thing I need to do is to organize and clean my desk to start the day.
Right,
Oh,
right.
yeah.
Have you ever flown in a helicopter?
Yes. One one time before drones were like so popular, we had to do a
Yeah.
shooting, and then I went in a
Oh,
helicopter. Yeah.
Interesting. If you could invent a gadget, what would it do?
Okay. I have one. You guys can research. So
oh,
is a machine that when we need to sleep, but I don't have the time, then I can buy some sleeping time from other people. So let's say, for example, I need to sleep 8 hours today, but I don't have, or I can exchange, but I cannot sleep because I have too many tasks. So I'm gonna enter there, say, oh, I need 8 hours sleep, and then okay, I receive this 8 hours, so I don't need to sleep
You don't
that
need to
8 hours.
sleep. Oh, okay. That's
Yeah, and
interesting.
but another day, for example, that I can sleep all day, then I exchange and I say, and I put as
For
a
the whole
credit.
day.
Let me sleep 4 hours, and yeah.
Right. Favorite reality TV show?
Oh, I used to like one reality show. It's a bit old. Was I think from the UK, and the name was faking it. I don't know.
Oh yes, I've heard of
They
it.
don't,
Faking it. Yeah,
and
it's they're in their
it
little
was
capsules in the house, and they go on the screen, and they have to like talk to each other, and their voice is like different, and they gotta
no what. It's a
guess.
different one. It was like,
Oh,
for
okay.
example, they would take a ballet dancer, and they would
Hmm.
say,
Yes.
"Oh, you're gonna train as a professional fighter for a week," and then they
Oh,
would go in a competition, and they had the judges, and they would have to catch who is not. And then it was so amazing because it was like most of the time people would not get caught. Means like when
right,
you really put some work towards something, you can make. Yeah,
Mhm.
right. Fake it
Yep.
till you make it.
yeah, literally.
Beige or gray, like the color.
Beige, beige.
Okay.
Yeah,
Authenticity or faith.
Authentic, authenticity.
Okay. And the last one is happiness or legacy.
Mm. Happiness, happiness.
Yeah, happiness is very important for your health. Well,
Yeah.
thank you very much for answering that rapid fire question. Not so rapid, but it's okay. We're having fun. So, I would like to open the floor for you to ask us any questions if you have any.
How did you guys meet and started this show? I forgot to
Mm.
ask at the start, but I was thinking all the time now.
No, it's fine. It's fine. So, me and
Okay.
Jennifer met on Discord, and I needed help managing this Discord server for a vertical actor, and then we continued going, and then it kind of died down. Instagram, all the community started, the chat starting to open up. We came onto Instagram, and then I kept a close relationship with Jennifer because she was always helping me with recommendations for verticals and stuff like that, and we just kept it going. And then I'm gonna take it to Jennifer for how we got onto the vertical take.
Oh, yeah. So, and I say this all the time because without this person, like I wouldn't have even thought about this. KCS, or I don't know if you know KCS, or he's one of the
Yeah.
big vertical actors. I had asked him to fill out a little form for me, just to make like a little interview sheet for him, and he was like, well, he's like, why don't we go and do something bigger, and let's hop on a call together and just we can talk and things like that. And I was like, well, let me get back to you. And so then I got to thinking, I'm like, well, can I do this? Is this something I can do? Talk to other people about verticals. And so then I talked to Taha. I was like, hey, this is the idea. You want to hop on, become my co host? Because I thought if I had somebody with me, I wouldn't be so nervous. And so Taha loves to talk. And he loves to
I was
talk.
like, you know
So,
what? We can be unique, a co-host,
yes.
two people, and then we
So,
added the rapid
anyway,
fire,
yeah.
and then she added two truths and a lie to make us unique, and here we are.
Yep. So
Lovely.
we took, yep. So
Yeah,
that's how we came to be.
Nice. Oh, that's amazing. That's amazing. The verticals
Yes.
brought you guys together.
yeah.
And let me ask one more. What you
Yeah.
guys really looking forward in the verticals? Because now there's so many verticals that are kind of same and big. What do you guys want to see
Right.
next?
Oh, I know.
So for me, I
Um.
want
Mhm.
something different. I like horror. I like lots of plot twists. You know, we're sick and tired of the toxic slapping and, her choosing the toxic man. Like, why can't she choose herself instead of the two toxic guys? Or why is it that she can't be successful in the first place? Why is she drawn to so much of an abundance that she has to choose between literally starving on the streets or becoming an heiress of $1 billion company? Why can't she start something new? Why can't she be supported? Like different takes on things, more Twilight, horror, different genres. Revenge is good. I've seen a good few revenge ones, but I feel like they show too much of the suffering and the revenge isn't sweet. We like a little bit of slow revenge, especially when we don't know it's a revenge until the very
Hmm.
end. Those are good.
Well, and Mauricio, you are on the right path because you're working with Big Lou. And I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
say Big Blue is amazing when it comes to putting out original stuff. I think you mentioned that earlier about putting original stuff out there. Um, and it doesn't have that toxic stuff in it. Those
No.
stories are just basically and they're just basically like love stories and they have the action when needed.
No, it's amazing to know I get invitations to direct remakes all the time, and I'm always trying to push and say, no, I will just try to do originals, and always trying to balance between this.
Yeah.
And no, it's great to hear because yeah, I think people want to, different stories, and of course they like the revenge and the plot twists, but they want something fresh as well.
Of course. Like, I know most of it is data driven, so they see one that does really well. They make like five different more of them because I know at the end of the day it is business. But, you know, something unique is something unique, of course. And a classic is a classic. You're trying, you know how we have like classic Hollywood films? We want classical verticals. And it's always going to be known as a classic vertical. And I think
Yeah,
you, my friend, have what it takes to make a classic vertical because you've already put out unique ones out there. I see you going places with this, especially in the vertical world.
Let's do it. We have some
but
ideas.
I think but I think, just it seems like all the verticals are pretty much just love stories. If they would just
Right.
branch out into other genres, like I said, horror, even action movies, let's bring some speed. You remember the film Speed? I don't know why that's coming to mind with Keanu Reeves in it.
I
Bring something like
love that
that.
film.
Yeah.
Classic.
Yes,
That
bring something like that.
that's amazing. That film, yeah, I love Speed. Oh my god, that scene of Keanu Reeves and Sandra
Sandra
Bullock,
Bullock.
right?
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
At the end, kissing on the. Oh my god, that film is amazing. No, it's great you guys talking because as Ta has saying, like sometimes it's like, oh, there's one popular and they want to make like five versions of that.
Right.
And
And they
I
shouldn't
mean, the
do
story
that.
is risk, yeah, yeah.
They really shouldn't do that because that does turn a viewer off. And that could just
Hmm.
be my opinion, but it does. Well, thank you very much, Mauricio, for coming on to the Vertical Take. We really appreciate you taking the time out for us and giving us more of an insight of what goes on behind the scenes because we barely get to see that. So we really appreciate it. I will link all of your socials, IMDb, contact details in the description box below. And towards the rest of you, thank you so much for watching until the end of this amazing episode. And go watch another episode or wait until the next one comes out if